Hello, today is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, and today we're going to be doing some Unity game development. So, I have gone ahead, oh, that is the wrong one. That is something that I'm working on for later. Later, not later today, but more later in the lifetime of this stream. Working on a newer layout for everything. Anyway, today, so yesterday, we were doing some tank stuff. I wanted to mess with the tweening library that someone had showed me for Unity because I've never really messed with that. Like, I sort of get the concept. It's similar to how streams work. Not entirely, though. But anyway, had some issues with that. Tried to make the treads animate, and they do a little bit, but it looks like we can't really pause or set the speed of it in any meaningful way. Or at least if we can, I wasn't able to sort out how to do it in, 20 minutes of trying plus talking to other people. So maybe that's a bad thing to use to judge capabilities of a library. Anyway, there are things that we can do with it. So we can animate the gun, and we probably will do that today. Like, we'll probably animate like a firing animation or something with the tweening library just to sort of see how it works. But what I want to do first is I want to actually fix the treads because they're bothering me. So what I did was I went ahead and I imported, the reactive extensions for Unity. We're going to see how that works a little bit more. So I have some ideas on how to actually make that animate the treads. I think I understand how I can do that. So the idea is basically that we're going to convert the transform's position and rotation into some kind of stream. And then using that, we are going to try to animate it. Hey Omar, how's it going? How are you doing today? We're just kind of messing with some stuff. So I think all of this is fine. We don't need to create the tween anymore. Can get rid of that. What we're going to do is we're going to create a, let's say, new item, call it the tank animator component. So how is the, you're doing a Udemy course on game development, right, Omar? How's that going? So what we can do, actually no, this is in, whoa, that was laggy for a second. I think everything just recompiled. So let's say using, what is it, it's UniRX? Yeah, UniRX. I think that's fine. Then in private void awake over here, I think what we do is we say transform.position no, or is it, oh, how do we do that? Is it to, or is it on? Observe every value change, so position. They want me to make a story and I'm a dub, so, I don't think you're dumb. I do know that, I do know that making stories is difficult though. So we'll say on every value changed. How did I do this? The property was transform. What was it? Transform. So it's a function to transform that property. So this will be the transform to say transform. But yeah, I know what you mean. Writing stories can be difficult. So we say transform to transform.position. That's the property selector, and then the frame count. Actually, all of this is fine. So what we want to do is we want to say on every value changed, right? And then I think what we want to do is we want to have like, no, that's not right. I think we want to subscribe. Man, you are at 56 and you're still not affiliate. I'm mad at Twitch. Then I'm mad at Twitch. Yeah, so the affiliate thing has to do with average like view time or something. Let me just mute all of my tabs. I forgot that I had so many open. Oh, that should be fine. Yeah, the affiliate thing has to do, let me double check all the stats for it. Where is it? It's in here? Yes, in here. Oh, I forget what's the actual thing. It's not that, it's not that, it's that. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so the affiliate thing, it still is at 1.82 of 3 as the sort of average viewership. So it is climbing a little bit, but not enough quite yet. The followers is finally at 54. I don't know why it's picked 54, but it has picked 54 as the thing that it's gonna do. So yeah, I mean, I'll get there eventually. But yeah, thank you for all the help anyway. So Rx, this is network operations. This is IEnumerators. What we really want is we want every time the transform changes, we want to update some kind of variable based on the amount of change, I think. And so I don't know if this is the new position or if this is the delta. Oh, do we only have the new position? Is there no way to actually get the delta? This is heavy method, default scheduler, mono behavior triggers. So sample frame every, I think this is sample at every 30 or every 30 frames. So if that's true, is there any way to take until this dot mouse up as observable? So we could select many until, but again, I don't know how we actually get the delta. That's the problem. Because we can get the new position, but otherwise we have to store the last position somewhere else, which sort of defeats the point of, what is it? Sort of defeats the point. Or we could map the position to the change in the tread, like the tread position. Actually, that might work. So if we subscribe to this as a position, right, because this should give us the new value. Yeah, okay. So then what we can do is we can have a protected list of tread images. So we'll say using system collections generic. Yeah. And then we'll say, I mean, this isn't actually, well, no, this is actually just no more efficient than yeah, this is not any better than putting this in the update method in any possible way, which is annoying, but I think we're going to do it anyway. So this will be a list of sprite. This will be the tread images, or the track images. And this will be the serialized field. And then we will create a protected list of sprite renderers. So basically what I want to do is I want to say, like, if the transform is at, 1.1, then we're going to display image 0. If it's at 1.2, we're going to display image 3, 1.3, image 0. So something like that, where it kind of repeats. And the reason that we're going to do that, and this is going to be sprite renderers, the reason that we're going to do that is so that we don't have to worry about pausing things. That way, anytime the tank moves for any reason at all, it should have the treads move. Well, actually, that's not true, because there will also be the rotation. So we probably need to actually figure out how the rotation is going to work as well. I mean, we could map that into here, I think. Yeah, we could say on every value change. We could do the same thing for, yeah, rotation as well. Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, I think, to do it this way. But, I don't know. Okay, so these will get filled in normally. We don't actually need to bother with them, because the serialized field will force them to actually have a value. So in position, what we can say is that we can say, we also need an int. Actually, no, we don't, because we're going to determine the int from here. So what we'll say is, well, no, that's not going to work either. I guess we can store the previous position. Vector 3, previous position. So what we can do is we can say that position, previous position is equal to position. Then what we can say is if, no, I don't want to do that either. Well, actually, yeah, well, no. We can say where, or wait, we can say take while? or select many. So can we just say select many? And then what do you actually take as your argument? You take a function of vector 3 to an enumerable, which is the selector. That's not really what I want. Really, I just want to do this if the position is changing. Maybe if the position changes, we ignore that and then we just use the amount of time. Like we use a sine wave or something. That actually might be better if we just use a sine wave. And I think that will work. So what we can do is we can say that so every time the position changes, we're going to say what is it? Sprite renderers dot for each. We're going to say for each renderer. Then I don't need this. What am I doing? Why am I just forgetting how to write lambdas all of a sudden? Also, I'm going to put an underscore on these because otherwise the defaults, well, no, that's not going to work. I mean, it will work, but I don't want to do it. We'll just do that. Put the underscore afterwards. Yeah, that'll work. That way we can just make sure that we're not rendering the wrong thing. We're not doing the wrong thing. So we'll just ignore the position because we don't need it. And actually, yeah, transform to transform that position, that's fine. We don't actually need the current, like the delta, because we can just read the transform dot position. So for each of these, we're going to say that renderer dot, well, actually, we don't need this. We can just do it as an expression. And say renderer dot sprite is going to be equal to track images at, and then what we want to do is we want to have an int here, and we'll just put this here on the next line. We're going to convert this to an int, and what we'll have is we'll have mathf.sign of time.time, and then we'll say times 2. So what this should do is this should lift it into from a -1 to a +1. Actually, no. We want to do, no wait, this is fine. This is fine, we can do that. But we want mathf.sign, we want to add a 1 here. That way, or actually we'll say times 1.5. Okay. So what this should do is this will turn this here into a value from -1, or from 0 to +2, and then this will map it to, well, actually, from 0 to +2 is probably fine. What we want then is 0.9. And yeah, that's fine. This will map it from, yeah, 0 to, basically I want it to be, I want it to vaguely overshoot 1, go a little bit above 1 and a little bit below 2, or a little bit below 0, that way it actually does flip between the two. This may not be the best way to do this. I don't know though. Let's just see what happens. This should convert it to an integer. Oh, this should cause it to oscillate over time. Because really it's something like this. This should never be negative, I don't think. But the question is, so it will go a little bit, yeah, I think this should be fine. And then let's create a protected float, and we'll say animation speed. And we'll set this to, I don't know, 2, because it probably needs to be something higher than 1. Something like that. And then we'll serialize it. So yeah, anytime the transform's position changes, we should run this code. And I think that'll work. So let's check it out. So the first thing we need is a, what did I put it, is a track animator, or a tank animator? Tank animator, yes, okay. So track images, there are 2 of them. The first one is, I think it's track frame 1, and then track frame 2. Yes, Okay. And then there are two renderers. Those are going to be the left and the right on tracks here. So say left, and we'll say right. And the animation speed should be 2. Let's see how this works out. Okay. So rotating doesn't change anything. Yeah, it does seem to change a little bit every once in a while. So in that case, let's bump this up to 20. And that might work. Might cause it to change a little bit more often. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now it doesn't work whenever we rotate. That's because the transform's position doesn't change. Yeah, otherwise it actually doesn't look half bad. And this is done through reactive extensions. So the idea is that whenever the position changes, we react to that, and we have the treads change position as well. They do look a little bit like they're going backwards, though. It's kind of hard to make it look like it's going forward. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay. So we can do the same thing with rotation as well. What can we do? We can actually extract all of this out, and then we can say protected void update. What are we going to do? Update treads or update tracks? Update tracks, something like that, because we don't need the actual position. We also don't need. Well, actually, no, this isn't going to change anything. Wait. No, wait, this is fine. Yeah, because we're not using the actual position, so we can just say. Can we put an object here and just say discard? Or no, we can actually just put this here, right? And so if we do subscribe and then we say update tracks. Oh, that's not valid. Matches delegate vector 3. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So that has to take a vector 3. Ooh, can I do that with optional arguments though? Can I do, so vector 3 underscore, right? So this will work. The reason that I'm saying this is that we can do, because we also want to do observe every value changed from the transform to the transform.rotation. And we need it would be nice if we had a method that would work with this as well, because update tracks won't. Because what will happen is that update tracks will, yeah, it won't work here. And I mean, of course, we could write out the whole lambda, but instead of writing out the lambda, I want to see if I can make this work. So if I say position is equal to null, oh, can I not default this? Oh, it's not a parameter. Vector 3, 1. Or no, vector 3, 0. You don't like that because it's not compile time constant. Of course you don't like it because it's not compile time constant. Why would you? Can this be an optional vector by chance and still match the signature? No, it can't. Okay, that's fair. There's really no way. I mean, this is not compile time constant for sure. Are there no compile time constant references for vector 3? And also, why? I created a protected vector 3 vector. Sure, try that. Are you happy with that? No, it's not local. Arr. That's annoying. So we couldn't put default arguments for these. That's annoying. Because otherwise, alright, fine. We'll just do it the lame way. Fine. I mean, like, we can do that. There we go. Just didn't want to do it the lame way. There we go. Okay. So now anytime the rotation changes, we'll get the same effect. That's all that I really wanted to do with that. And I'd prefer to have these here. Yeah. Okay. That should be fine. So now whenever we rotate, we should also get the same effect. Yeah, we do. Okay. Yeah, now, yeah, okay, perfect. I like that. I mean, it's probably super inefficient, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's really cool. So we're doing that completely with reactive code. Yeah, very happy with that. Okay, now let's make this thing fire and actually animate the gun turret like we wanted to do. Alright, let's create a projectile. This will be a projectile, just a random projectile. We don't know what it's going to be. Put 0, 0, 0 on the position, and then we need to get, these are the connectors. We need to get an actual projectile here. I think this is going to be like maybe a medium shell, because it's coming out of a medium sort of gun. Okay, how big are these, by the way? Are they the right size for the gun? That would be super convenient. Note that I have not actually resized them yet. What are they on? They're on 526. No, they're 56 by 256, so they're 256. And we can just apply these. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, I think the projectile, like, perfectly matches. I mean, it's a little bit too big, but, nah, who cares? I mean, bullets are a little bit, I think aren't bullets technically a little bit too big for the barrel? And that's, like, that makes it work a little bit better? I think that's a thing. Pretty sure that's a thing. So we'll put this at 0. And then I can go there, okay, and then what we will do is, this could probably use a shadow, that'd be kind of neat. I mean, the tank could also use a shadow, but we'll deal with that a bit later. So this is graphics, this needs to have a projectile component, so we can close all this tank stuff. Let's create a projectile component. Projectile component, cool. And what we will do with the projectile component is projectile component, perfect. So what we can do with this, oh, interesting, that has collections generic automatic. I don't remember that being a thing, okay. But we'll probably need it anyway. So let's see. So we want the projectile to basically go forward. So we can just say private void update. We'll say transform.position is equal to, or plus equal to vector 3 or transform.forward. And then we'll multiply, or not forward, damn it, I always do this. Transform.up. Yes. So we go this transform.up, and then we'll have a speed. So a protected float, and then this will be the speed. Then we will serialize that out. And we will say 1.0, let's say 3. 3, that's fine, okay. Transform.up times 3. Okay, this will basically just, let's do this in the fixed update also. And for the tank, actually, let's also do that in the fixed update. Because we are going to have these things be physics, and maybe we'll have these be physics enabled. No, actually, we won't. Or wait. Well, no, because they are going to have physical collisions at some point, so it'll probably need to do this in the fixed update. That's probably fine. Alright. So let's see here. We have all of that. And then what we want is we want the tank to have a projectile component. Or not projectile component, but a prefab. So this will be, no, not procedural texture. This is the projectile prefab. Yeah, and then we can serialize that out. What we will do is we'll have a protected void handle input. Or no, actually we won't. Just handle it here. What we'll do is we'll have if, let's say input get mouse button down. And we'll say, I don't know, or left mouse button? Yeah, left mouse button. Not get button down, get mouse button down. Left, what we'll do is we'll say instantiate, we'll say projectile prefab, yes. And we also need a protected transform. This will be like the fire point, or this will be like where the projectile spawns. So I'll have that, and we'll say do that at the fire point, and then we will use, oh no, it'll be the fire point dot position, then we'll use the fire point's rotation. Alright, and so that should cause the bullet to go forward as well. Let's just rename this to projectile prefab like that, okay. I think all that's fine. Actually, really this doesn't need to be in here. This needs to be in the player controller component. So actually, let's get a public void fire, something like that. And then that will instantiate that over there. And then what we'll do is, in the player controller component, in update here, we'll check. Hello, IQ Dakotas. Just got my certificate in C#, and I got a new PC that's Alienware. I was wondering, do you know, how do you take what you learn to Unity? How do you take what you learn to Unity? So I'm not sure what you mean. So for C#, so Unity uses C#. Most of the C# rules apply in Unity. Like the main thing with Unity is that every component. So I guess how much do you know about game development? I guess that's the first question. How much do you know about game development? If you answer that, then I can direct you from there. But like there shouldn't be too much struggle with the C# part of it. It's really just learning how Unity thinks and does things. Also, I need to darken my camera. There we go. But yeah, congratulations on the C# certificate. That's pretty cool. And also, you have an Alienware. That's really gonna help. Well, actually, Unity's not that intensive, but for most of the other parts of game development, an Alienware is really gonna help you. It's really gonna be useful. But yeah, as far as how you do that, I just need to know how much you know about Unity. Or not Unity, but game development. Say projectile component. Right, and then we'll put this into prefabs. So none, I only know how to make levels. Okay. So in Unity, the main thing that you need to, for how do you take what you know to Unity, the main thing you need to know is how an entity, so what Unity uses, it uses what's called an entity component system, or an entity component architecture. So if you look up entity component architecture, or no, let's just say system. Wikipedia. It's always the best source is Wikipedia. But yeah, Unity uses the entity component system. So this will tell you a little bit about it. This is the main structure of how Unity does things. But yeah, I would look that up. So basically, the way that it works is that these game objects over here, these are called game objects. They are entities, and Unity doesn't like the idea of inheritance that much. It does a little bit, but it really doesn't. If you really like inheritance for like programming, you should use Godot. Godot is like heavily based on inheritance game engine. It's one of the main reasons that I don't want to use it. But yeah, Godot is heavily based on inheritance here, whereas Unity is not. Unity favors a design pattern called composition. So the idea is that if you have some sort of behavior, you encapsulate that into a class. So for instance, like this game object here, this is an entity and it has a bunch of different components to it. So it has this transform, like every game object has a transform, and so I can edit that transform with this little tool. And so you see it changes the values there. The transform basically just determines sort of your position and your rotation and stuff like that in the world. That's why every game object has one. And so this tank component here, what that does is it controls like moving and rotating the tank, whereas like taking the user input is done in this component, this player controller component. And so components all they are is they're just a C# class, and then they extend the mono behavior class. And so what that does is that lets Unity sort of mess with it. That's sort of how you transfer everything you know. It's because after you understand sort of how the entity component stuff works and how to build the components, it's really just coding in C# and understanding all of the Unity sort of idiosyncrasies. So for instance, like this is how you get mouse input. It's through the input class. But other than that, everything, other than that, it's learning about how to use vector 3s and That's mostly like math and stuff, but it's not too bad. But yeah, it's really vectors, quaternions, and learning how components work. The only thing you do need to be aware of is that Unity does have a little bit of magic. So for instance, if you say private void, or if I say private void here, oh, what is it? So this stuff, it is these methods like on collision enter, on 2D, on collision exit, etc. These are magical methods. They don't, these things are magic. They don't follow any, the way that they work is that in the backend, C# or C++ actually inspects this class, and it looks for a method with this exact name. It can actually be, you know, public, private, void, whatever. It can be even virtual, it doesn't care. And that's how it sort of does the linking. The reason that I say that is because this is not done through inheritance, and a lot of people think that it is, but it's not. It's just magic that's done by Unity. But you can, you know, you can create subclasses of this stuff, and you can actually inherit these methods later, and Unity will point to the correct thing. But that's the main thing you gotta know, is how the ECS works, and then you can transfer all of your C# knowledge. So I hope that answers your question. If you need more details, you can let me know, and I can, you know, explain more stuff. But yeah, Unity's pretty cool. So are you trying to do game development as a career or something? Because that's cool. That's a cool like career to get into. Okay, so we have the fire point. What we need to do is we need to add create an empty. Yeah, fire point. Say fire point. Yep, that'll work. And let's put that there. Yeah, trying to do game development. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Game development, it's a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. There's some weird things in the industry, but yeah. Yeah, I hope I explained that well. Sometimes I don't. But yeah. Other than that, like, it's just sort of learning. A lot of it is learning also how Unity does all this stuff, but it's not so bad. Like if you understand the basics of C# and you understand a little bit about attributes and stuff, learning how to link everything to Unity really just the components are like an interface into C# for Unity. And you can have, you know, you can build really complex systems that don't actually use Unity at all. That's how, if you want to look up a good example of how to do something like that, what is it? It's on YouTube. There's a, is it Unite Deserts? I think it's Karak. I think it's Deserts of Karak. Yeah, oh, they don't explain it. It might not have been at Unite. But there's a talk by the developers of Deserts of Karak, and they actually used Unity. But they only used Unity as a rendering engine. They actually built their entire game outside of Unity, and Unity just sort of renders it for them. It's kind of a cool pattern that they used there. But they did it for various reasons, because Unity couldn't guarantee a lot of things that they needed it to guarantee. But it's not very common to do that. It's just one developer did that. So I think everything is working, right? Okay. Let's spawn the projectile, but the projectile's not moving. Or where did it go? No, like, why is it a million miles? Oh, I know what I did. Whoops. I know what I did. So I did not multiply this by time.delta time. There we go. That's the issue. Now it'll move 3 units per second rather than, I think it was moving at like 180 or something before. Yeah, there we go. Now we have our bullets. Cool. I like it. Awesome. Alright. So now we want to animate the gun using some kind of tween library. So let's see here. So to do that, we're going to actually need to look at the tank itself, like the actual gun. So let's see, okay. So what we need to do is when we fire the gun, we want the actual barrel to move back, whoops, want the actual barrel to move back. Oops, not that much. Maybe that much. And then we want it to go, like we want it to move back, and then we want it to move back to its original position. Okay. So that means that we're going to need a reference to the barrel. And in here we can do a protected transform. Yeah, this is the barrel. Yeah, okay. So I guess we'll say in private void awake, what we want to do is we want to create some kind of sequence, right? So we're going to say using, what is it? It's dg.tweening? Yeah, dg.tweening, okay. So what we want to do is, I think we want to say do tween dot two, and then we can move a transform, right? With this, we can use a vector 3. I think, oh no, wait, is it, or is it, you use the barrel and then you say position dot move, no. Oh my god, I forgot how you use this. Unity do tween tutorial. Tutorial. Oh boy. Alright. Let's see if I can work this out. I think I can. So this is the name of the variable, okay. It gets the value. Lambda that sets the value, okay. End value, whatever it might be, okay. So then what we want to do, but I thought there was a way, to actually move like the x value. So okay, let's say this, dot 2, and so we need a lambda to get the value. So the lambda that gets the value is going to be barrel.position. That'll get the value. The lambda to set the value is going to be position, such that barrel.position is equal to position. Yes. That's fine. That's fine. Is that, no, that's a transform. No, that's fine, okay. And then, so this is the part that I don't understand. So can we say dot move x, or how does that work? Because I know that we can set the end value. It thinks this is a color for some reason. So, oh, transform.do move x. Or you can leverage the shortcuts power. Yeah, okay, that's what we want, is do move x. Right. So the transform.do move x. We want to move the y. And we want to move to, do we want to move to, or we want to move by? Because we want to move minus some amount. Is it move to or is it move by? It doesn't say. So given the value, so you can most likely anything from a given value to its current one, instead then to the given value from the current one. So I think it'll move from its current value to the given one. So I think it's a from to sort of thing. Okay. So I think we say do move y, and then by that to that amount. Wait, what is the actual value? So the end value in the duration. So let's say over 1/10 of a second. And then we say from its current position. Then we want to move to, or do move. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So can't we like chain these together? Really? Huh. Is there no then? I thought for sure we could chain these together. Against delay? No. Huh. Can you really not? So wait. So var s is equal to that. Can you not do s dot Really? That's kind of lame. Like, no joke, that's kind of lame. Okay. So yeah, I mean, what this will do is this will move it, I think, to that position over that, but what if I wanted to create like a chain of these? Because I'm pretty sure you can do that. Okay. So in that case, can we do .2? And so what if we had a empty lambda to transform, or not, barrel.position. And then we, so after this, can we do, okay, you don't know enough about this to actually give us any information. So say position to barrel.transform, or sorry, no, barrel.position is equal to position. And then let's say that the end value is whatever we just had over here, 0.49. 0.409. Okay. And then we do that over, I don't know, a quarter of a second. Sure, why not? I think that's how that works. Why do you not like that? Why do you think these are floats? Oh, I know why. This will be vector 3, no, this will be transform, oh, but that's not going to work. Because that would have to be the local value. Ooh, that's interesting. Sure. Dot down, no. Transform dot up. I don't know if this will evaluate every second. I don't know if this will, well actually, we can use the local position then, right? Yeah, we can use local position. That'll work. And then we can say vector 3 dot up, or vector 3 dot down actually. So vector 3 dot down. Yeah, we can do something like that. And then can we really not chain this again? Interesting. Can we really not chain that? I thought we could. Am I wrong? Okay, so documentation. So .init. So behavior, creating that. Do move x, yes. Okay. But I'm pretty sure there was a way that you could chain these. So we have an animator, yeah. Alright. Additional generic things. 2-axis, creating a sequence. Oh, do we have to do just sequence like that? Okay. Dot sequence dot 2? No. Set loops relative. Wait for position. Say set as. Set ID, set link, set loops. Interesting. So we can append that. So can we just append? So if we do this, can we append you? Is that what we do here? Oh, that's interesting. If that's how that works, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. That's not how I would have expected that to work. But I think that does do just that. Alright. So then can we start that? No. Can we... no. What can we actually do to this? Can we not start this? Can we not run this? Execute, rewind. Interesting. I don't actually know how we run the sequence. Just s dot complete. Is it complete? Is backwards, is relative, join, kill, unkill, on play, pause. Oh, play. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Alright. So we just need to save off the sequence. So yeah, what we can do is we can move the barrel's position like that. Now, is there any way to make that a little bit more generic? I mean, yeah, there is. So what we can do is we can say, could create a lambda, but I don't want to do that. Well, actually, first off, let's just do this for now. Oops. Let's get rid of that. Then let's say that this is equal to transform.down. We'll say transform.position dot, or no, barrel.position. Barrel.local position dot y. We'll just move to that. Okay. And then we'll say that you move back over 3/4 of a second. Something like that. Barrel.local position. Oh, we actually do have to make a... Well, no, we can use the barrel.local position here. Actually, wait. Let's save this, just in case. We'll say starting position is equal to whatever the barrel's local position is. That way the starting position should stay constant. Something like that. And then this will be the protected sequence. We'll say fire animation, right? And then we'll say the fire animation is equal to that. And then when we fire, we will play the fire animation. We'll say fire animation dot play. Oops, animation dot play. Okay. And I think that'll work, right? Do we have to call? Is there anything that says that we have to call append or complete? Don't think so. I think we just append stuff, right? Prepend interval, yeah, okay. Okay, let's see if that does what I think it'll do. Okay, so we have that. And then where's the actual barrel? It's right there. Okay. Oh, whoops, that's not the barrel. That's the barrel. Yeah. Let's put that there. Alright. So what happens? Okay, it looks like it created that. It created the sequence, but it didn't actually play it. Or I think it played it, but it doesn't play it. Yeah, it did play it there. What do we do? Do we pause this? Yeah, I think we pause this. Yeah, we pause that. Okay. And then we say play, and then can we say fire animation dot like restart? Sure. I guess we just say restart. Restart it from the beginning. Yeah, okay. And so this should pause it immediately. That way it doesn't ever play until we actually fire something. Will that work? I think so. So yeah, we play it. Huh. Alright, so that didn't stop it. That restarted it from the beginning, but it didn't actually play it. Can we just set the... Do we need to set the loops to infinite? Is that what we need to do? We can pause it. We can say loops. Yeah, loops -1. Something like that. I think that'll... Oh no. Is it set loops? Yeah, set loops to -1. There we go. That'll make it infinite. Okay. Yeah, I haven't ever used this before, so I gotta get a little bit better at it. Okay, so play that, good. Now it's not actually pausing. So we restart it. Say fire animation, can we just say play once? No. Okay. How do we just play something once and then replay it? Do we have to like actually rewind it? Dot rewind. Rewinds and pauses. Okay. we actually need to say play? Or do we need to say play and then restart? Or do we need to say restart then play? I don't know. I think pausing it is the right thing to do. So yeah, we play it, and then we rewind it, and then we play it. Now we can't play it again. So... do we mean replay? How do I restart it? Yeah, how do you actually restart it? Set autokill false, set recyclable true. Don't mess with them unless you know what you're doing. Oh, you don't need to call those, okay. That's not useful to me. For each kill, don't call start for another script. Starts for Unity, okay. My guess is that you set that, and they were not killed, even if they were finished. Doesn't tell me how to restart. Then call those and start? It doesn't make any sense. In case if you cache it, you could use, if you cache it, if somebody experienced, be playing with the visual editor, understanding, animation, component, no, I don't want to deal with that. How do you... okay, reuse? It's killed after it's completed, you set autokill false. Really? Okay. It says it's killed. I guess we don't do that. I think we set autokill to false here. And then we can take off that. Alright. Guess that's fine. Let's see if this does what we want. We really don't want it to auto-kill, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now we can animate it. It does go a little bit too far back, though. I don't know why. How far back does that actually end up? It ends up at minus. So I think that's a change by, not a change to. It's interesting. I mean, it changes by approximately minus 1.5. Or not 1.5, 0.15. I think that's right. Okay. It changes by that much. Okay. Does that reach its original position again? So it changes by that much, and then it changes back to its original position. That's interesting. I don't know if that's... I think the fire part actually needs to be a little bit faster. Maybe even something like that. I think that's actually better. Yeah, okay. Because it needs to go back really quickly, but then it actually goes forward a little bit slower. Because it, like, reloads. Okay. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, all of this is done pretty much with just twins and, what is it, reactive stuff. Not really using any update code. I mean, we are with the input, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, we have this follow camera that doesn't actually do anything right now. Okay. This is actually a bit easier than I expected it to be. Let's see if we can do any kind of collision. Let's see here. Okay. So for this tank, we will add a, I don't know, let's say a capsule collider. The reason that I want to do that is so that, well, actually, in this case, let's just add a circle collider then. Because these are actually a little bit circular. The reason that I don't want to add a box collider to this is because what will happen is it'll get caught on literally everything. And a circle is a better approximation for this, I think. Yeah, roughly speaking, it's a better approximation. Yeah. Okay, so we have that, and then I think we need a rigid body to actually get the collisions. And we will set the gravity scale to 0 because we don't need it. No angular drag. So what we will do then is, in one of these tiles, yeah, let's just put you in the world, unpack it completely, and then we'll make a tile wall. And let's put this over here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Then we can set this to something else. So B, that kind of looks wall-ish. Yeah, it does look a little bit wall-like. That's definitely a wall. Yeah, that's a wall. Okay. Let's just use that as a wall. Alright. I'll put you at 1, that way you appear above everything. And then let's give you a box collider 2D. There we go. Okay. And what I'll do is I will make you a prefab. Then let's get rid of some of these. Let's delete all these. Duplicate this. And of course we can make this more efficient later. I'm not too worried about that. I just want to see if the collision works the way that I think it does, because I thought in Unity, if you were moving things with just the sort of translate sort of code, it doesn't actually do collisions. But apparently I'm wrong. Apparently it does collisions. That's really good to know. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I don't remember that being a thing, but I don't know, maybe they changed it at some point, or maybe I was just told incorrectly whenever I learned Unity that this doesn't work, but clearly it does. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of neat. I like that. Alright. And obviously the projectiles don't collide with the wall, but that's fine. I mean, the projectiles need to be a little bit... I do like how it seems to fire like roughly as fast as the projectiles do. That's kind of cool. I think whenever we restart it, it actually just resets the original position. That's cool. Okay. That's one, I guess, one advantage to using this. Alright. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. I wish I had like an explosion graphic. That would be nice. Alright, so another thing we can do is we can try to make the tank leave little like tank tracks behind. I think we can do that with... we can do that a couple ways actually. Do that with like particle, not particle, but well yeah, I think we could do it with particle systems. Actually, let's try to do that with particle systems. Okay. So I think what we can do is we can say, oh yeah, all of these can go into map. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. And then on the tank itself, okay. So I think what we can do is with the tracks here, I think we can create particle systems that can do the like trail stuff. Actually, would it be better to use a trail renderer for that? Well, this is like a line renderer type thing. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. What's the duration on this? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Is there no way to get rid of that? Surely there's a way to get rid of that. There doesn't seem to be an inspector component for it. Huh. Oh, we can reset it. Okay, that'll work. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. I'd rather use just particle systems because I know how to do that. So what we do is create a particle system. Yes, set the duration to, I think 0 is probably fine. Emission, it's not rate over time, it would be rate over distance. So no, let's say 5. Then what we would end up doing is we would end up saying for the renderer, yes, it would billboard, but actually it would use not that as a material, it would actually use we need to create the material, so let's just create sure, we'll create a quad, why not? And then what we do is we get the tank tread, or the tank track, with projectiles tracks. This is track 1 frame A. Drag that onto here, that'll create the material for us. Okay. Then we have this. This will just be the track A. And I think this is already fine. It's not going to, well, it's going to be cutout probably? Yeah, cutout's good. And I want this to not be standard. I want this to be unlit. Unlit. Is there now? Okay, yeah. Have to be standard or unlit texture, I think. Yeah, unlit texture. Alright. Why doesn't this have the unlit transparent? Yeah, unlit transparent. That'll work. Okay. And so now here we can set that to be the track A. So now this should emit particles in the shape of those. Yep, perfect. So the duration, I guess we'll set back at 1. It can be looping. It's the start lifetime will be 1. Start speed should actually be 0, so that they'll stay put. And then the, what is it? The delta time? No. The scaling mode? No. The world space, yeah. So now it'll render those. Okay. The shape, the angle can be 0 here. It's not really a cone, it's more of a point. But I don't know if they have a point. They don't. So we can use a circle with a radius of 0, and that's basically a point. Radius thickness at 0. Alright, so now it renders them in a line. That's perfect. So the orientation, or the rotation, I don't know if it automatically matches the particle renderer. I don't. No, it doesn't. Okay. So simulation space is the world. Scaling mode is there. I don't know how you actually set the rotation. Can you set the arc to 0 or no? Is it mode random? No. I don't remember. Is it aligned to direction? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is, right? You align to the direction? Oh, that's interesting. Is that because it needs to actually be pointing that way? Yes. Wait. Interesting. I don't know why it's choosing to do that. Okay. So I think the x-axis is the forward axis? Yeah, okay. Something like that. So what we can do is we can set all this to 0. And the x-axis is basically forward. So I think all that means is that we do that. No? No. Alright. Do that. Nope, we don't. We do that. Yeah, I don't know why. Pause that. Alright, what is it actually doing? Why is it rotating in random directions like that? Do we need to set the arc to 0? Is that what it is? Say play. Is it that we need to set the arc to 0 to get this to work? Yeah, it looks like arc to 0 works. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we'll do that, and then this is the tracks. Not the tracks, this is the trail. And then we have the start color at 1. We want to change the color over lifetime. So we say, I think it's color over lifetime, yeah. What we want is we want these to be a little bit darker than the normal tracks. So we can copy this over. And then we also want the alpha to fade out over time, but not immediately. Well, actually, no, we do want the alpha to be not 100% at the beginning, so maybe 200? No, sorry, 150. A little less than half. Do something like that. That's probably fine. Alright. So now we can duplicate this over to here, and then just set that value to 0. Alright. See what happens. Excited. Interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. That is not at all what I wanted that to do. Very interesting that doesn't, very interesting. Okay. so this does align to the direction, but it aligns to direction, but yeah, not exactly the way that I want. So say that. It's weird the color over lifetime doesn't seem to do that much, because this is a transparent texture. So if we set this to unlit cutout, can we, with the alpha cutoff, change something there? No, they're not actually getting aligned at that point. Is it some kind of mode, like some kind of scaling mode that it needs to be in? Is it scaling mode? No. It's world space. So the start rotation should not be random. 3D start rotation, no. I don't know if this can actually be done this way then. It might just need to be done through a trail renderer. This mode is random now. Well, it needs to be, doesn't need to be looping though. Huh, interesting. So there's noise, there is trails. So mode particle ratio, inherent particle color? What does that do? Okay, so that's a little bit faster. The minimum vertex distance is that. World space. Texture mode stretch. Yeah, it's not doing what I thought it was doing. Interesting that whenever it goes backwards, it doesn't actually render anything. Huh, that's interesting. Is there like a particle cap or something? A max at 1000. Huh. Very strange. Alright, so let's try this with the trail then. With a proper trail renderer. But I don't think we can actually add like a texture to this. I think we just have to set the color. That's kind of annoying. But we can do that, and then, you know, if that, the width is like super low, like that. Oops. Yeah, something like that. And the color can be a little bit darker. It can start out as kind of dark. Something like that. Well, actually, it needs to just be kind of dark like that. Yeah. Something like that. Paste that there. Set this to 150 and then have it taper off to 0. Should be fine. It appears to be behaving very strangely. Does this need higher or less alpha? And does it need less alpha for more often? So 90? 10? I don't know. Wait, why does it have like nothing? That's weird. 0? 0 alpha. But the blend still isn't working? Why is that not working? Wait. Oh, whoops, was I going backwards with this? I think I was going backwards with this. So yeah, maybe it needs to be at 200 to begin with. Yeah, 200 to begin with. And then 0 to start. Or 0 here. And then it can look like that. Yeah, that's kind of working. More or less. Needs to be a little bit darker, I think. So paste that there. Then it'll fade. Yeah, that might work. And then the time can be like 1 or something. So let's duplicate that and then put it over there. No. Put it at 0. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Okay. We do get a little bit of a trail there. It's not too bad. Probably want to make these start at like the end of the tracks. that way it'll look less like it's rendering in the center. Okay. Let's put this down here. Whoops. Down here. Roughly speaking, yeah. Alright, so that's going to go at 0.2. It's going to go at 0.02. Then at minus that. Whoops. Nope, nope, nope. No. It's going to go there. Okay. I think that's the ideal place to put it. Yeah, a little bit. Probably needs to be a little bit wider. Yeah, other than that, I think it's kind of fine. I think the problem is that whenever we do this, oh no, we get a trail. I think we don't get one. Oh no, we do get one when we go backwards. Okay, fair enough. All right, I kind of like that. Not a huge fan of it, but you know, I think it's a nice little effect. All right, well, I'm very happy with that. I sort of expected it to take longer to learn how to use the tween stuff. Yeah, I think this is fine. Unless there's like a better way to do this. I mean, would it be just like transform, or would it be just like barrel dot transform dot like move y? Then we would just say that the end value would be that over 0.1f, not there, and then if we just do that, you don't like that because it converts it to a float, but, oh, do move y, like that. So does this work? Is this identical? We said move to the starting position dot y, and then you do that over 0.7. Is that identical? Because if it is, that'd be really cool. No, that's not the same. Interesting. Would I need to say .local position .do move y? Oh wait, is there a do local move y? Ah, okay. That's fine. Do local move y. Something like that. And there to starting position .y. And we do that over 0.7. And I think this is functionally equivalent. If it is, that's really cool. Okay. Let's check this out. That's interesting. I wonder why that's... Did I forget like a minus or something? I probably forgot a minus somewhere. I think this is the minus. Okay, so let's check this out. Okay. Yeah, that does appear to be exactly the same thing. Alright, that's really cool. So yeah, you can make really simple animations with this, apparently. And you can probably do other cool things. Like, there's probably ways to abuse this library that I'm not aware of. Can't wait to look into those a bit later and figure that out. But yeah, like all of that is done, most of it's done completely reactively, which is really cool. So we have all this. I wonder what reactive stuff we can do with the projectiles. We have the animator components, all that sort of stuff. Yep. Alright. Yeah, okay, so that's how you do that. And then what else can we do with this? I'm very curious. Alright, so we have a pen, we have a pen callback. Interesting. A pen interval, okay, so I guess that's like an interval between two things? Like a time interval? Like a pause, maybe? You can join that. You can prepend, okay. So it looks like if you had multiple of these, you could add them together. And create sequences made of only callbacks and use them as timers. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that makes sense. So you could do, oh wow, I bet you could too. Wow, so you could do something like, do tween dot sequence, append interval, append interval. So let's say after 1 second, and then you say like dot append callback. Oh wow. So is this an action by chance? Let me just say, you know, hello world. By chance are you, oh my god, does that actually just work? That'd be amazing if that just worked. That'd be so cool, I'd love that. Oh my god, that just works. That's amazing. Alright, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Wow, so you could do, wow. Wow, so you could create an extension method that just does an invoke. And I'm surprised they don't have one already. No, okay. That's crazy. That's just crazy how you can do that. And I assume that cleans itself up afterwards. But wow. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so there's settings, options, and all that stuff. So there's settings like the timescale. Ooh, I wonder if these are global. I think they are. Settings applied. Oh, okay, here we go. The default stuff. Okay. Wow. So there's change settings. So you can link something. Interesting. So you can set the ID. Okay. You can update something. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, I think we've explored the tween library a little bit, and we know a little bit more about it, so that's good. That's really all I had planned for today, so I think I'm just going to... What did that actually have up there? Oh, that had that, okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call the stream here. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to follow if you like the content. And, yeah. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. as well. Actually, let me double check if anybody that I know is doing anything right now. Some of the people that I know like to stream during the day, so let's see. Is anybody doing anything? No, nobody's doing anything. Alright, well, that's a shame. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow.